So
Thank you.
on next on the line we have Tokes of Life. Tokes,
Hello, 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 hello.
hi Tokes. So
Hello,
Tokes,
good evening,
good
everyone. Yeah.
evening. So Tokes he was my boss in when I was in Conga, one of the best bosses I've ever worked with.
Oh wow,
He's here
nice.
he's now the CEO of Cotta Cush as well as Dufuna. I mean, he's running quite a lot of startups. So he's going to be talking to us from the product perspective as a CEO, everything, all the experience he has gathered over the years, working with Google. You know, he has a wide range of experience. So we're happy to have you here, Tokes. People
All
are
right,
waiting to hear your story. And yeah,
thank you.
thanks for honoring our invite. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so I've got about 8 minutes, so I'll try to keep the time. So, like
Thank you.
Funto said, thank you so much for the introduction, Funto. My name is Stokes, and I've worked with a few companies. I started out in MTN Nigeria, where I worked within the network management team, helping. That was where I think I got my first product experience, although I was on the development side. But it wasn't like it was structured per se. We were just hustling. It was a startup at the time. A startup with a lot of money. So we got to do a whole lot of things, solve a lot of network related problems. We're building applications to monitor the network and ensure that the network was up and running. So I was working there back in the time when the whole country won't be able to recharge and load airtime at a particular point in time, or they'll just charge freely. So we faced lots of interesting problems. And one of the things I learned working for MTN is never waste a crisis. Every opportunity, every downtime, every time your product is not working is an opportunity to learn. And you can always take that learning and that knowledge as you go along your career. It was interesting that when I started working in Conga, many of the things I first implemented were the things I actually learned in MTN many years before then. So the crisis or the problems we had never wasted. It was always useful. So after MTN, I lived in the UK for about 10 years. And while I was in the UK, I worked for an arm of an investment bank. I worked at the University of London for a bit. Did a short project at IBM. Then I worked for BSkyB as well, British Sky Broadcasting. And then I worked at Google. So at Google, I was at Google for about 3.5 years, where I worked within the enterprise team. And we're involved with deploying Google apps across Central Europe, Middle East, and Africa. So yeah, lots of travel, lots of meeting interesting people, and learning about deploying products at scale. So I got tempted to join Conga. It was interesting. Joined Conga as CIO, and I was director of products. So while I was at Conga, it was really interesting. I learned a lot of interesting things. And one of the things I learned, not blaming anyone in particular, but it's just a fact of life, is you can burn through a lot of money very quickly if you're not careful. If the idea of product development and doing it in an iterative fashion helps you and helps your budget. We were moving very fast. We didn't know how big the market was. That's another lesson, that Africa is not Silicon Valley. So when you copy and paste your models, or just understand that you're not in Silicon Valley, you're in Africa. Do not confuse the population. Like Nigeria will say we have 200 million people in the country, but do not think that's your addressable market. So for example, some of the presenters today have been around a while and they've got 10,000, 20,000 users. We may think it's small, but I bet that wasn't easy to come by. So lots of respect for those people. But that shows you that the entire 200 million people is not your addressable market. The people online is a subset of that. Lots of people are poor in many African countries, and Nigeria is one of them, probably the country with the highest number of poor people. So that's, so yeah, this is not Silicon Valley. Do not confuse population density with density on the internet. You can burn through lots of money very quickly. But the thing I really learned that I found really fascinating at Conga is that talent is equally evenly distributed, but opportunity is not. So when I joined Conga, a lot of the development a lot of applications were built abroad. And I think my call to fame at Conga was just putting my neck on the line and saying, we can actually develop things in here. And yeah, so eventually we did it, and by the time, a few years later, after we started developing locally, companies reached out trying to either copy what we're doing. One of the things was what Sponsor built, which was the marketplace. There was a company out of India that said, hey, there's no point reinventing the wheel. Can we just have what you've got already? And I was quite surprised because, all respect to all Indians on the call. I know you just spoke before me. Indians and software is almost like saying Chinese and Kung Fu. You just believe that if you're Indian, you're good at it. So having them say, let's copy what you're doing was a really, really great endorsement to what we had achieved. So that was one. And there was another European company that reached out as well. So it just shows that we've got it in us. We just need to establish the right processes, know what we're doing, and ensure that we're able to continue to iterate, find out about ourselves, find out about our market, find out about our users. That's another interesting point I've learned. I think one of the speakers earlier talked about this, about the fact that it's not so hard to understand the user. Spend time with them. That was another interesting thing I learned while working at Conga and working in my current role as well. So now I'm involved in talent development, essentially working on developing software engineers, developing product managers. We're rolling out a program now, thanks to COVID, but luckily we started doing this before COVID, online, where we're going to be training software engineers in Nigeria and now across Africa. So, but our across Africa vision is to start out of Zambia. So we have a relationship with an organization called Bongo Hive. So from Bongo Hive, we're then going to expand beyond Nigeria and Zambia to other African countries. So I think I'm around about 7 minutes now. So that's what we do. And we've brought everything onto a mobile app. The entire process will be managed digitally and electronically. And this is not just the delivery of the content only, but everything from selection to delivery of the content, to testing, to the integration with Git, for example, for customer feedback. Sorry about the background noise. Everyone is working from home here. So that's what we've built. We've built everything end to end. Again, what's worked for us is understanding our customers, spending a lot of time with engineers and developers has helped us, and we fed that feedback and our experience working with them into the app, and that's enabling us now to train lots and lots of people. By the way, just as a roundup, many people, I'm sure I've seen a few people hail Conga from different angles. Many people working in lots of tech companies now across Nigeria came out of that cohort. Many people actually working out of Berlin now, again, came out of that Conga cohort. That just tells you how much talent is in this country. We don't want to lose all of them to Europe. Unfortunately, sometimes the reality is that we'll do that, but that's it. So talent is everywhere. Know your customers. Do not confuse Africa for Silicon Valley. It is not. Thank God we don't hear Yabacon Valley anymore. It is not. We are in Africa. We need to learn how things work here and make it work. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tokes. That was so great. Fantastic. Thank you.